I wanted to show you guys a little bit about the first read protocol. So I'm going to show you the first read protocol with the Butter Battle book. So this is found in Savvis. It's just the first read guide to fiction. And I've just put it in Cami so that I can write in it easily. So the first read protocol through Savvis is notice, annotate, connect, and respond. And it's a really easy way to kind of keep the students on track when they're doing a first read. Most of my lessons with a closed read have kids do a contiguous first read, but for it to be a meaningful first read, they need to have some kind of protocol. So we're just going to look at doing this first read protocol with the Butter Battle book. So what I'm going to do is I am going to talk about what the sections are, and then I'm going to demonstrate. So the notice asks basically just the basics of the text. So who is the story about, what's happening, where and when it's happening, and why are the reactions what they are. It also asks the students to annotate by marking vocabulary and key passages they want to revisit. They can do that directly on the text, or you could have them write it on this. Connect is just make any connections. I think that this is a really fun part with the way our units are done, because we are in topic-based units, so they should be able to easily make connections to what they already know and what they've already read. And then respond is where we're going to do this like a brief summary, and you can actually do that comprehension check, though those are pretty basic level questions, but still an option. So with the Butter Battle book, I'm going to move this, see if I can find it. When I'm thinking about who is the story about, when and where is it happening, what happens, and how do they respond? So who is the story about? It seems to be about the Zooks and the Ukes. What happens? When I read it, I noticed that the two groups are disagreeing about, I really don't want it. I wonder if it'll, okay. The two groups are disagreeing about the way to butter their bread. So that's a really basic what's happening. The reason that I'm keeping it basic is because the reactions, I think, are the rest of the what happens is the reaction. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to the reactions. The two groups basically start upping each other's weaponry in order to stay in power. So that's kind of like the reactions are to each other, and like, why are they having these reactions? They're having these reactions because they want to be the more powerful one. So when does it happen and where does it happen? I'm going to go back and look at the text, because it actually says on the last day of summer, 10 hours before fall. And interestingly, I don't think I noticed this without actually doing a specific first read. It very specifically says that this whole thing is just a story being told by Grandpa. So where is it actually taking place? It's at the wall between the Ukes and the Zooks. So when the last day of summer, where it's taking place at the wall. So I didn't notice it when I read the first time, that basically right here in paragraph 4, it starts a quote that is the rest of the text. The rest of the text is Grandpa talking. So once I've done this one, I should have the basic plot of the story. The annotate by marking vocabulary and key passages you may want to revisit. I think this section is really important because I think it offers a great opportunity for student discourse. First of all, I would, when you're doing vocabulary, I would have the students mark words that they don't know, and then share in small groups and figure out words that they don't like, that no one knows in their small group, right? So you might have somebody who's like, I don't know what, I don't even know. I don't know what a kink is, or I don't know what prickly means. And so they might put it here, prickly. I don't know what prickly means. And that's fine, but someone else at their table might know. And then you can come to a whole class. Okay, what are some words that no one at your table knew? And it feels a little bit less threatening, at least to me. Like, I didn't know what prickly meant, but I'm going to feel stupid if everybody else knows what prickly means. So I think it's really good to have them share at their table, so then they can be like, nobody at my table knows what prickly means. So words, and also passages. So I think the Butter Battle book is a great one to demonstrate a first read for, because there are a lot of weird words in it, and like they might notice, like in paragraph 5, for example, they're like, I didn't notice, but then I looked at it and like I'm looking that zook and uke are really similar words. So I'd like to look more closely at paragraph 5, because it's weird to me how similar the two groups are, right? I also, so obviously you're having some student discourse about vocabulary in this section, but I also think it's important to note that the key passages they want to revisit, that's a great time to have students share, because it's very open-ended. Why do you want to revisit that? Can be anything. It can be, it was confusing to me. I liked how the words sounded. I thought that there might be some cool figurative language in here. I'm not sure I totally understood it. These are all reasons. So I'm going to put that here in red. Oh, am I going to put it in red? No. Opportunity for student discourse. Key passages they want to revisit is very open-ended. So that's a great opportunity to get kids talking. I really want it to be red, but I don't know how to make it red, so I guess I won't. Oh, maybe I do it up here. Cami and I are not exactly friends. Okay, so connect. Again, I think it's important to note that topic-based units allow for students to have a lot of connections to previous texts, right? We're in the Cold War unit. Obviously, that's really important. And so the Butter Battle book should not be the first time that they're thinking about the Cold War. They should automatically be making a connection to what they read the day before. It was like the introduction to the Cold War text, right? So you're really going to want to push them to go a little bit deeper in this. What specific lines, events, characters, themes are you seeing? Not just the topic. Right? You don't want them to say, oh, I made a connection because this is about the Cold War and so is the text we read yesterday. Like, that's very surface level, and that's a great entry point, but try to push them. What themes are you seeing, right? What characters are similar to characters we read about yesterday? Okay, and then the last section, this comprehension check or brief summary, not or brief summary and brief summary. So as you guys probably already know, one of our worst standards across middle school English is that first standard, right? RLKID 1. We are not doing a great job at summary. And I think that one of the reasons is, I know I have been told over and over again, we don't teach that standard in isolation. We should be teaching that standard all the time. And I think for me, what that has looked like is we don't teach that standard. And so doing this is a great way to reinforce, like, hey, we still need to know how to do a summary. I know that it is sometimes difficult to know how to teach a summary. You can always do a traditional, like somebody wanted, but so then test prep summary, like multiple choice, is always a great opportunity, since we know that they're struggling with that. I really like doing a Twitter summary. You have 140 characters, and that's fun. Doing like a important words summary. So like I've picked these 5 words, doing an important sentence from the text summary. So you pick a sentence and then kind of explain it to do the summary. These are all good opportunities, and I know that you guys have lots of other summary ideas. So obviously for this is for a fiction text. I would suggest that you take some time to go and look at the first read guide for nonfiction, because it is just as useful. And I think that when we take the time to really look at those protocols and teach them, the students are going to really improve in RLK ID1. Thank you guys.